So your cube right now, it's looking like a really big scrambled mess, especially with all these little pieces messed up. But the first step in solving this is going to be getting it back into cube form, so that way we can move all these little pieces to where they need to go. And basically you just do that by solving it as if it were 3x3. So one thing to keep in mind is that these top pieces are going to determine the edges. So this is the white green edge. These pieces don't count towards this edge. This is the white green edge. Don't let that confuse you. And for example, this is going to be the white green red corner. These pieces don't really matter when it comes to the corner. So just with that in mind, solve it like a normal 3x3. Here we have the white red edge piece, so bring that down. This is the white blue, so there we go. And look for our last piece. There we go, white cross is completed. Now we're just going to solve the corners. This is also just like a 3x3, so just keep in mind what I said earlier about these pieces being the corners. So this is the white, green, orange corner, for example. And now you just want to insert the corners. So head on over to green, orange, insert that, blue, orange, insert that. This is, what is this? This is red, green, insert that. Just need one more. There we go. And at this point, it should basically look like this whole top layer is done. Now, move on to solving these edges right here, these big blocks. So this is also just like normal beginner's method, 3x3 stuff. Just insert the edges. There we go. We got this red green edge in. Over here to orange blue. And there we go. Green orange. Nice. And we just need to switch out these two. So don't be afraid to switch in these mini edges, because they'll obviously just be replaced by the edges that we need later, if say you need to. So just like that, our mini edge has been replaced by a big edge, and looks like we're good. So now we just want to solve for this top layer, so we're going to do that by doing the yellow cross. So yellow cross, there it is. Now we just want to align up our edges, get it so that way all of them are in the right spot. And like I said, with the edges, these are the pieces that matter, not these ones. Same thing with the yellow corners, these ones are the ones that matter, not the other ones. So just get your corners into the right spot. So there's one. And it looks like we have them all in the right spot, so just solve the yellow face now. And once the yellow face is solved, we'll be able to move the whole cube. We'll be able to move the whole cube however we want, really, including the smaller pieces. So here we go. This is what our cube is looking like right now. And just align up this. There we go. So now the next step in solving this is going to be solving for these white edges, getting all these mini ones aligned. And the way that we're going to do this is we're going to replace a yellow edge with a white edge, and then we can move this layer, not really caring about how it gets messed up, because right now we're really just focusing on the white face. And you can't just do this by going like this. Although we get the white edge on top, we'll be messing up our corners, and it's just not the best way to do things. So the way that I like to do it is this cuboid algorithm, which is left down, right down, front 2, left up, right up. And what that did was it replaced this white edge with this yellow edge, and it didn't disturb anything on the bottom here, which is mainly what we want to preserve. So now I can just go ahead and let's see if there's a red piece. There was. So reinsert it back down. There we go. There's our first edge solved. Now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the rest of them. So here we got green. Bring it down. Now there's one piece, there's 2 pieces, so bring it back down. We have green and red solved. Now for orange, you don't want to, if let's say we need these 2 pieces, because we do, we don't want to keep it right here because, as you'll see, it switched with it, and we won't be able to get it in. So if you have something like that, just move it off to the side, do the algorithm, and now we can move it in. There we go. Reinsert our white edge. Now for the last one, blue. Let's go like this. And we got one piece right there. And I know we have another one somewhere. There we go. And reinsert. And that is all of our white edge pieces done. So now we're going to move on to the white corners, and this process is done almost exactly the same, just with a different algorithm. And basically we're going to switch a yellow corner for a white corner. We don't care about this top layer, so we can move it around however we want, but we don't want to mess up our edges, which is why we're going to be doing this. And this algorithm is going to be R2 U R2 U prime R2, just like that. And we have our yellow corner on the bottom, our red corner on the top. This one got solved, so that's nice. We can just reinsert it where it needs to go just by doing the same algorithm. Now we have red, green, so we'll move that onto the top layer. And basically we just see if there's any pieces that we can use to build our corner. And it looks like there's one. So there's no more that work. They have to be facing the same way. So as you can see, this red-green is the same alignment as this red-green, but this one is backwards. That's not going to work. That's supposed to go on the yellow layer. So we'll move it back down because that's all we can get for now. Move on to our next one, which is green-orange. Same thing, we only need one piece, so we'll just check this middle layer, see if there's something there. Nope, so it must be in a different corner piece that's on the white layer. Let's see, this is probably it, so we'll take that out, while also building this corner. So there's one piece. Let's see if we can get a second one. There we go, there's 2. So reinsert. There we go, that corner's done. Now we'll just go back to our green-orange. Insert. There we go. And our last one to be done. Just insert. There we go. Yeah, so if there is another corner that's storing a piece that you need, you can just do this algorithm and take it out, and then you can reinsert it. So now that we have these first 2 layers done, we can move on to the yellow corners. Alright, so the yellow corners. Basically the first step in doing this is going to be looking at whether any layer shares the same colors. And what I mean by this is we're going to ignore everything except for these pieces right here for now. So are these the same color, blue and blue? Well, yes they are. So now we can move on to the second layer. And this portion can be confusing, but once you understand it, it'll make life a lot easier. Now, second layer, we're looking at just these two pieces now, just corner pieces, because that's what we're solving for. So this is a red and an orange. That's not the same color. That's not the same color, but there we go. We have a green and a green. This is the same color. Now we'll move on to the third layer. We're going to do this for all the layers just to see if we have any colors that are the same. And typically you're only going to have 2. Sometimes you can have 3 though. And I'll tell you what to do if you do have 3. But since we only have 2, we're going to hold the cube so that way our matching colors are facing towards the left like this. Then we're just going to do this algorithm. Bring these two up. U, R prime, down to R, U prime, R prime, down to R2. Now we are going to look back again and see if we have 3 of them. After doing that algorithm, which will be in the description by the way, we have 2 right here, so let's see if we can find a third set. There we go. Oh, well, it actually looks like this solved all of our corners, but in most cases that won't happen. So let's say we find just 3, well, actually, yeah, so let's say we just have 3 matching colors. Then you would hold it towards the back, and then you would do the same algorithm. Now I'm not going to mess up this cube, so I'll just use this, but let's say our matching corners, these were our matching corners, so you would hold it in the back, then you would do the same algorithm. And there you go. That would solve for all of these corners. So now we can move on to the edges. And this is really a similar process to what we did earlier, although it's not the same. So we're just going to line up our bottom layer with this top layer, and what you're going to do is, depending on which one is on the top, you'll get the bottom layer corresponding. So this is green, we'll get up the green, and the first part in doing this is switching out this edge. Now you might be thinking, how are we going to build this edge which is on the bottom and not mess up this which is on the top? And that's a good question. What you do is you look and see any green pieces that we can switch with. So there's 2. So we'll switch it. That way we don't actually ruin our white edge, but we move around the pieces on the top layer. So switch it back after doing that, and now just realign your corners. Which is basically just doing the reversal of what you just did. Realign corners. There we go. So now we'll do the same thing basically. This is just a big repetition. So let's do blue. We know we have a blue back here. So we'll go blue. Switch blue in. Move it around so that it doesn't break this edge. We switch. Fix our corners, and now we have this blue edge built, and this green edge too, which is nice. So we're on the last step. We just have this edge and this edge to be built, so we have our corresponding edges. Switch in. This should be the last move. I think we're going to switch, preserving our white edge. Fix our corners, and as you can see, all of our edges are solved. So from this point on, it's really pretty easy. You're just going to solve the cube as if it were a 3x3. So I'll just get the corners in the right spot. Oh geez. One more time. Corners in the right spot. Align the corners. And there you go.